Okay, good evening to all of you. Today our topic is mean value theorems. So it is a fantastic application of derivative. You will see it's a fantastic chapter of calculus. Here in this chapter you will learn Rolle's theorem and Lagrange's mean value theorem. So before we start, let me start with Rolle's theorem. What is Rolle's theorem? Let the statement of the theorem is very important. Let f be a real valued function defined on the closed interval ab. So what is the meaning of that? F is a function defined on the closed interval ab. So its domain is ab and codomain is real number. Codomain is real number. So that is why it is called f is a real valued function defined on the closed interval ab. It is defined on the closed interval ab such that f is continuous on a closed interval ab. Number 2, f is differentiable at every point of ab, open interval ab. You look at that. Here we are using closed interval, but in the differentiability we are using open interval. And the third condition is that fa equal to fb. Okay, then there exists, if these three conditions are satisfied, then there exists at least one real number c belongs to the open interval ab such that f dash c equal to 0. So that is the statement of the theorem. Now I will explain. Also I will give you the geometrical interpretation of Rolle's theorem. So the first point is that f is continuous on closed interval ab. So a function which is continuous on closed interval ab, but in differentiability we are using open interval ab. What is the meaning of that? It means that the function is differentiable at every point between a and b except a and b. That means if this is your curve, this is your function, and this is your a point, this is your b point, at every point between a and b you can draw tangents. It is differentiable. Differentiability means you can draw tangents at every point except a and b, because at a you will have right derivative and at b you will have left derivative. So it is the meaning of that at every point between a and b f is differentiable. That is, you can draw tangents at every point between a and b. That is why we are using the term, actually Rolle's is using the term open interval a and b. And the third point is fa is equal to fb. That is, the ordinate at a and b should be equal. Then there exists at least one point. Maybe there are more than one point. C belongs to the open interval ab such that f dash c equal to 0. So let us have the geometrical interpretation first for clear understanding. So let y equal to fx has ordinates at 2 points a and b equal, you see, and if the graph be continuous throughout the interval from a to b, and if the curve has a tangent at every point on it from a to b except possibly at two extreme points a and b, then there exists a point between a and b where the tangent is parallel to x axis. So that is the geometrical interpretation. Let us draw. So this is the simple diagram. This is x axis, this is y axis, and suppose this is the curve. You look at that, the curve, and this is the point a, and this is the point b, a to b, and this is the ordinate fa, the height at a, and this is the ordinate at b, fb. You look at that, these two heights are equal, so it satisfies the third condition that fa is equal to fb. And you see the curve y equal to fx, y equal to fx is continuous, y equal to fx is continuous in a and b. That is, without lifting the pen you can draw the diagram. There is no discontinuity in the graph, and at every point between A and B you can draw tangents. At any point between A and B you can draw tangents. It is differentiable between A and B. So all the three conditions are satisfied, and Rolle's theorem states that then there exists at least one point C between A and B, anywhere between A and B. Look at that, the point is C, where if you draw the tangent, if you draw the tangent, the tangent is parallel to x-axis, that is f dash c equal to 0. So that is the statement of the theorem, and these 2 points are A and B. These two end points are A and B, and its coordinate is coordinate of A comma FA, and the coordinate of B is B comma AB, actually the ordinate. Okay, so this is the geometrical interpretation of the Rolle's theorem, that is A and B. Within A and B the function y equal to fx is continuous in closed interval AB, and within this interval, open interval AB, the function fx is differentiable. That means open interval AB, that is we can draw tangents at any point between A and B, and fa is equal to fb, that is the height, that is the ordinates are equal at A and B. Then there exists at least one point. In this diagram you have only one point, but maybe there are more than one point. I will show you that, just wait. So f dash c equal to 0, that is the tangent is parallel to x-axis. That is the geometrical interpretation of Rolle's theorem. Okay, now let me show you another diagram where you can draw more than one points. So let us have this type of diagram. It's just like a wave. Okay, sorry. So this is the axis. Let us take the x-axis, and this is your A point, this is your A point, and this is your B point. So look at that, the ordinates at A and B are equal, that is FA equal to FB, and there are so many points, you can find so many points, and the curve is continuous. You see there is no discontinuity. Without lifting the pen you can draw the diagram, and the function is differentiable at any point between A and B, that is you can draw tangents at any point between A and B. And look at that, there are so many points. This is your C1, say C1, where f dash C1 equal to 0, that is the tangent at that point is parallel to x-axis. Another point C2 in the negative direction, so f dash C2 is 0, right? You have another point C3, here also the tangent is parallel to x-axis, that is f dash C3 equal to 0, the derivative at C3. Another point C4, that is f dash C4 equal to 0, right? And you have another point, except A and B, in between A and B always. So this is f dash C5 equal to 0. So this is the geometrical interpretation. That is why in Rolle's theorem it is stated that at least one. So it can be more than one, right? So this is the beautiful geometrical interpretation of Rolle's theorem. Let's now have an example. It's a simple example. We can check and we can verify Rolle's theorem in 1 to 2. It's a polynomial, you see, and if you are talking about a polynomial is everywhere continuous. If you are talking about an exponential function, everywhere continuous. Sin x, cos x, everywhere continuous. So I am taking a polynomial, that is quadratic polynomial. So you see, you can check f1 is 1, f2 is 2. So number 1, this function is continuous in any interval, and here we are talking about 1 to 2, so it is continuous in 1 and 2. because it is a quadratic polynomial. Number 2, it is differentiable in the open interval 1 comma 2. You can verify because polynomial functions are everywhere differentiable. You can check the derivative of fx. F dash x is 2x minus 3, right? So differentiable. Number 3 is this point, that is f1 is equal to f2 is equal to 2. Okay, then there exists at least one point c such that f dash c equal to 0, and that will give you c equal to 3 by 2, and 3 by 2 is 1.5, that belongs to 1 comma 2, that belongs to 1 comma 2. So its Rolle's theorem is verified that there exists at least 1.3 by 2 which lies between 1 and 2, open interval. In this case, be careful about that. This point is not equal to 1, not equal to 2, so it lies between the open interval 1 to 2, that where f dash c is 0. So this is a verification of Rolle's theorem for this problem. Okay, let's have another conceptual problem. Look at that. Fx is given by x minus a, x minus b, x minus c, and a less than b less than c. It's a factor, x minus a, x minus b, x minus c. Show that f dash x equal to 0 has two roots, one belonging to a and b in the interval a and b, open interval, another belong to b and c. So you can easily check that fa equal to 0, fb equal to 0, and fc equal to 0, right? All three values are equal. So if you apply Rolle's theorem on a and b, that is in this part, if you apply Rolle's theorem in a and b, open interval a and b, then f is differentiable, continuous, because it's a polynomial, cubic polynomial. You look at that, the highest power of x is 3. So if you are talking about a cubic polynomial, then it is always continuous. Polynomial functions are everywhere continuous. So if you are talking about an interval a and b, it is continuous at a and b. And it is differentiable. Yes, polynomial functions are continuous and differentiable. Look at that, polynomial is continuous for all real values of x. So you apply Rolle's theorem in a and b, and f dash x is equal to 0 would have at least one root in a and b, and similarly you can state that at least one root in b and c also. But it is a cubic polynomial, and f dash x, what is your f dash x? If your fx is a polynomial of degree 3, your f dash to x will be polynomial of degree 2, one less than the power of the main polynomial. You look at that, your fx is a polynomial of degree 2, and what is your f dash x? F dash is a linear polynomial, linear equation, so its power reduced by 1. So in this case, your fx is a degree 3, your f dash x must have degree 2, so it must have two zeros or two roots. So one root, exactly one root would lie between a and b, and exactly one root would lie in b and c. Clear? That is the actually requirement of the example of this problem. Clear? So this is the explanation I have written here. Now one important observations of Rolle's theorem, very important observation. The conditions of Rolle's theorem is a set of sufficient conditions. It is not necessary. That is, without satisfying the conditions, fx may be, f dash x may be 0 at some point c in a and b, without satisfying the condition. Okay, without satisfying the Rolle's three conditions, f dash x may be 0. So conditions of the theorem is not necessary, but it is sufficient condition. So we can say in other words that converse of Rolle's theorem is not true. That is, if f dash x is equal to 0, all the conditions are satisfied. No, never. It cannot be. F dash x may be 0, but all the conditions are not satisfied. For example, suppose let me give you the mod x example. You see, mod x, it is not differentiable. I can show you like this is the curve. You see, this is the curve, and you see this is your FA, ordinate FA, and if you draw the perpendicular here, this is your B point and this is your FB, and you see there are points where the tangents are parallel to x-axis, that is, this is the point C, f dash C equal to 0. But you check that the third condition is not satisfied. The third condition is not satisfied. So conditions of Rolle's theorem is sufficient but not necessary. Let's have another example, mod x. You see the diagram of mod x is this one, and this is your -1, this is your +1, and the ordinates are equal. Fa equal to f -1, f -1 equal to f1, right? And this is continuous, but it is not differentiable at 0. But it is not differentiable at 0. Mod x is not differentiable at 0. It is a continuous function in any interval, but it is not differentiable at 0 because you have a sharp peak at 0. So you cannot apply Rolle's theorem on mod x. Okay? You cannot apply Rolle's theorem on mod x in any interval because that interval contains 0 and it is not differentiable at 0. So that is the main observations of Rolle's theorem, that Rolle's theorem's conditions of Rolle's theorem are sufficient but not necessary. Okay. Next, I will state Rolle's theorem for polynomials. So look at the statement, it's a very important. If a polynomial function f has at least 2 real roots, then between any 2 real roots there exists at least one root of the derived polynomial function f dashed. So f has at least 2 real roots, then between any two real roots there exists at least one root of the derived polynomial functions f dashed. This is the statement of the Rolle's theorem for polynomials. Let us explain that. Let alpha beta be 2 real roots of polynomial function f and alpha less than beta. So this is the polynomial, suppose. The blue line is the polynomial fx. And f is continuous in closed interval alpha beta. So suppose this is alpha and this is beta. Okay? This is alpha, this is beta. F is differentiable on alpha beta. Clearly, this is a polynomial. And f alpha equal to f beta, maybe if you draw the coordinate axis, you can check f alpha equal to f beta. Then by Rolle's theorem, there exists at least one real number xi belongs to alpha beta. This is called xi, Greek letter, such that f dash xi equal to 0. So there exists maybe one point xi. This is your xi, suppose f dash xi equal to 0. So what is f dashed? Derivative of the polynomial. F dashed is the derived polynomial. That means xi is a root of the derived polynomial f dashed. Okay? Xi is a root of the derived polynomial f dashed. That is the concept actually, and that is the statement of the Rolle's theorem for polynomial. This is the statement and this is the explanation with the help of Rolle's actual theorem. So what do you mean by simple language? That roots of the polynomial are separated by the derived polynomial f dashed. Roots of the polynomial f are separated by the roots of the polynomial f dashed. Separated. You see, alpha beta are the roots of the polynomial fx and xi is a root of f dashed. So roots of fx is separated by roots of f dashed. Okay. Now let us have an example with the help of this polynomial. If this is very important example, maybe for JEE also this is very important. if 2a plus 3b plus 6c equal to 0, then prove that the equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 has at least one real root between 0 and 1. So if you integrate this, you have ax cube by 3 bx square by 2 plus cx without any constant. I am not taking an arbitrary constant. You let that it be function fx. So this is your assumption. This is the clue. If you have any this type of quadratic, you take the integration of that quadratic as a fx. Then if you differentiate, you will get this function ax square plus bx plus c. So that is the integration and this is your derivative. So there is a link of fx and f dash x. Clear? Now you see f0 equal to 0. f0, if you substitute 0, it will be 0. And f1 equal to a by 3, b by 2, c, and if you take the LCM 6, and that will be equal to 0 because your twice a plus 3b plus 6 equal to 0, that is given in the problem. So what you have now, f0 equal to f1 equal to 0, satisfying the third condition of Rolle's, also satisfying the first two condition. Fx is polynomial, continuous and differentiable, then f dash x is equal to 0 by Rolle's theorem for some x belongs to 0 and 1. That is, what is your f dash x? F dash x is this quadratic. So this quadratic has at least one root between 0 and 1. That is, already we state that roots of f dash is separated by roots of fx. So that is the statement that roots of ax square plus bx is equal to 0 is separated by 0 and 1. That is, fx is equal to f dash x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0 has at least one real root between 0 and 1. So this is the beautiful example of this Rolle's theorem, Rolle's polynomials theorem for polynomial function. Okay, next another example I can give you. Look at that, it's for nth degree. You have n real numbers, a0, a1, a2, an, and this is the thing, a0 by n plus 1, a1. That is the, actually this is the generalization of this problem. This is the generalization of this problem. You can assume similarly, you can take the integration of this function, polynomial, nth degree polynomial function. This is nth degree polynomial function. You can take the integration of that and you can have this, and f being a polynomial satisfying the following condition: f is continuous, f is differentiable in open interval 0 and 1, and f0 equal to f1 equal to 0 similarly, and you can check that this function has at least one root between 0 and 1, right? Just like the previous one, you can do that the rest of the part. So this is very easy to verify. This is a generalization of the previous problem. Okay, next I will state Lagrange's mean value theorem. This is the actual mean value theorem. This is called the actual mean value theorem. This is called Lagrange's mean value theorem. What is that? Again, f is a real valued function defined in the closed interval ab, that is f of ab to r, right? F is continuous on closed interval ab. The same statement, number 1 and 2 are the same, but there is no third condition. Then there exists at least one point z, xi belongs to a and b, such that fb minus fa by b minus a equal to f dash psi. F dash psi. Okay, so this is the thing, this is the statement Lagrange's. Already I explained continuity, differentiability. Now I will explain this part with the help of geometrical interpretation. Let me give you the geometrical interpretation. Let us first draw the diagram. Okay, so you have a curve This is the curve y equal to fx, right? And this is your A point, this is your B point, and the segment, this point is, this is suppose A point and this is suppose B point, and the coordinate of A is A comma FA, and coordinate of B is B comma FB, and between A and B the chord is given by equation of the chord is given by AB. Okay, AB is the chord line segment joining the points A and B, and you look at that these two ordinates are not necessarily equal, it is not mentioned. Then there exists at least one point xi, this is the point xi, where the tangent is parallel to the chord, where the tangent to the curve is parallel to the line segment joining ATO, A comma FA and B comma FB. You look at that, this is the chord and these two lines are parallel, that is the tangent at xi is parallel to the line segment joining A and B. So this is the geometrical interpretation. And what is the slope of the chord? Slope of the chord is FB minus FA by B minus A, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Because they are parallel, so their slopes will be equal. So there will be at least one point. Let me show you, there can be more than one point. X axis, y axis, okay. So this is your A, this is your B point, abscissa and ordinate is FA, and this is your name of the point is A, this point is B, and its coordinate is A comma FA, and its coordinate is B comma FB, right? And you have the line segment join A and B. Let me join like this. So this is your A and B, and look at that, there are so many points where the tangent is parallel to, okay, sorry, it's not, this is 1, 2 and 3. So this is your C1 point where the tangent is parallel to the chord line segment, C2 point and C3 point. And there is another point also, you can check, this is also parallel to this. So there are so many points, that is why the language is always at least one real number xi. So this is the geometrical interpretation. It is nothing but your chord line segment joining the points A and B, the tangent will be parallel to the chord. Okay, so this is your Lagrange's mean value theorem. Let us now verify for an problem. So suppose this is also quadratic polynomial and it is continuous, differentiable in any interval, so minus 1 and 1. You can check that f1 is minus 2, f minus 1 is minus 10. So your fb minus fa by b minus a equal to f dash c. Okay, so fb is f1, f minus 1 by 2. So this is equal to, suppose, minus 2 plus 10 by 2 equal to, its derivative will be, your f dash x will be minus 2x plus 4. So your c, f dash c, what is your f dash c? Minus 2c plus 4, right? So if you check, if you calculate, your c will be 0, and 0 belongs to minus 1 comma 1. 0 is a point belongs to minus 1 comma 1. So that is the verification of Lagrange's mean value theorem. It is close to the Rolle's mean value Rolle's theorem. It is very close to the Rolle's theorem, just like the operation. Just the only thing is that you don't have the third condition. So we can state now that Rolle's theorem is a particular case of Lagrange's mean value theorem. Why? Because in Lagrange's mean value theorem, if fa equal to fb, what will happen? If fa equal to fb, this will be 0. This will be 0. So your f dash c equal to 0. So that is nothing but your Rolle's theorem. So Rolle's theorem is a particular case of Lagrange's mean value theorem. Clear? This is very important conclusion. So this is the verification of Lagrange's mean value theorem, and this is the statement. This is the note, important note, that Lagrange's mean value theorem is a special, Rolle's theorem is a special case of Lagrange's mean value theorem. There is another theorem, we can say, that f is a real valued function defined on a closed interval ab, is continuous on ab, f is differentiable on open interval ab, if f dash x is equal to 0 for all x belongs to a and b, then f is a constant for all x, not for one, at least 1 point, but for all x belongs to a and b, f is a constant function. So I am giving you a hint for that problem. You assume 1 point x1 less than x2, sorry, and less than equal to b. So you are taking 2 points actually, x1 x2, that belongs to a and b. You are actually taking 2 points belongs to the closed interval ab, in between ab, right? They can be a and b. So you are taking, then apply Lagrange's mean value theorem. So you can take x2 is greater than x1, so fx2 minus fx1 by x2 minus x1 equal to f dash xi. Xi is a point between x1 and x2, and you can check that f dash xi is 0. Why? Because it is 0 for all x. For all x, whatever be your x between a and b, it is 0, and xi is a. So what you see? Fx2 equal to fx1. So it is a constant function. Whatever be the value, it is a constant function. That is a very simple proof, but very important theorem. Look at that, the proof. You can use Lagrange's theorem to prove many theorems of calculus, Rolle's and Lagrange's. It's a very important applications in calculus. Next, I will state Cauchy's mean value theorem. This is the last theorem I will state here. Just look at that. F and g be, now I am talking about two functions f and g be two real valued functions on closed interval ab. Cauchy was a famous mathematician, actually developer of calculus. Cauchy and Newton, those are the two people who developed the calculus, fundamental calculus. Also Leibniz. So f and g are both continuous in the closed interval ab. F and g are both differentiable at every point of open interval ab, and g dash x not equal to 0 for x belongs to ab. Then there exists at least one real number xi belongs to ab, such that fb minus fa by gb minus ga equal to f dash xi by z dash xi. So you can derive Lagrange's mean value theorem from Cauchy by assuming fx is equal to x. So this is only I gave you the statement because you have a maybe in your syllabus it is not included, but this is the important concept of mean value theorem, that is a Cauchy's mean value theorem. So that's all for today. I hope this lecture of mean value theorem will be helpful for you. You can see the concept, the problems, the applications. So I'll stop here. Thank you all of you for your patience. We'll give you the lecture on the next video. Thank you all of you.